Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do a new comic from Whatnot Publishing. It's the North Valley Grimoire, issue number 1 by Blake Northcott, was the writer. Giuseppe Cafaro is the artist, and Brian Valenza is doing the color work. I like the cover, by the way. So this is being recommended to me, I believe. It was a while ago, but I'm eager to check out new stuff. I have a lot to say about this comic. There is a lot of inconsistencies here, and also a lot of lazy stuff. Okay, let's dive into, right? So if you go, I'm going pretty early into a rant, by the way. So we are here in Rome, right? And so this guy says, magic used to be difficult to obtain. And even if some tosser's English for, whatever slur you can imagine, you can look it up. Anyway, they managed to get their hands on a spell it could take them years to master, but rank amateurs are of little concern. So, if I come knocking, it means only one thing. Your royalty fucked up. So he's using invitation in veto. That's what makes techno alchemy, for all its benefits, so concerning. I have something to say about that. Fusing magic with machinery removes the need for study, for craftsmanship. It bypasses the art. I like that. Using your tech, nearly anyone can conjure a spell with the twist of a dial, or pull the trigger, or the pull or a trigger. So he uses his magic to come in. I always has trouble. This is not about the book, by the way. It's more like my personal thing, right? And there's this term, techno wizard. I always feel that technology and wizardry or sorcery should always be separated, because I don't know how I know it's all fake, right? It's all imaginary. It doesn't exist, but I'm just wondering. So I always thought that when it comes to conjuring spells, you have to be trained, maybe attuned to, I don't know, the power of the good, the power of the bad, the how do you say, in tune with the divine, or in tune with the chaos, the dark and all that stuff. And maybe you need to train to learn some scripts or scrolls, because magic is very, very powerful. I think it can even destroy you if you are not careful. The whole using a button is basically a cop-out. And also, I don't know, it never clicked with me, right? That doesn't mean you cannot use it, but how do you implement technology in sorcery? How I mean, if you have years, if you have years to prepare for using scrolls, manuscripts, and all that stuff to conjure a spell, and you just do it with a push button, how does that work? I mean, like I said, this has nothing to do with this. I'm just curious about that stuff. It's just weird. Anyway, so let's move on. So this guy's Agent Malek, and he's a CIA Block Ops unit thingy. He's hunting magic users and retrieving artifacts, and he is an operator at Farther Division, right? So he says he's come from Moscow. His father was a billionaire, and he was moved to London, etc. So his name is Malikov, and it's short for Malek. I love the word Malek, or the name Malek. It always reminds me of, Jesus Christ, Blood Omen from the PS1 era. Just fantastic. It's a fantastic game. Best voiceover ever. Anyway, so my gripe here is a lot. And it comes to mostly the art. So you can say, what about the art, Marinus? It's fine, it's bad, right? Well, it's more like probably Photoshop guy. What I what I noticed about modern artists, and with modern artists I mean using modern methods, digital, is that's mostly they never create clean art. That doesn't mean there's never a guy that does digital art, or girl that does digital art, that is never clean, but somehow I just notice it for looking. And it's also with the inking. There is not an inker here, so that means, or Photoshop guy does all the black work, or the artist does the inking. There's a lot of inconsistencies when it comes to inking, or actually creating clean backgrounds. For instance, you see this arch, right? So this door. So what do you notice here? A lot of wobbly black lines. You can see it here. It's also very noticeable. And then old school artists just doing these arches, they're doing the pencils and the inking is going over it, very clean. And then the colorist is, fixing it, right? Or just color it. So Photoshop guy, because you can clearly see this just a smudge here, is doing, okay, let's do this, zip, and we're done. No cleaning up, just more wobbly, wibbly, unfinished. And it's the same with the inking around all of these people. It's very inconsistent, it's very thick lines in certain places, and other places it's non-existent. It always throws me off, right? Except for even here. And remember when I always say in comics, modern comics, if you don't draw backgrounds in modern comics, just throw black in the backgrounds. It's here as well, right? So for instance, you have this wobbly line here and it goes up. It's very noticeable that it's so much different and then it just stops, right? For reasons, I don't know. Here as well, it's just, and you say, well, Maris, it's not really noticeable here. No, but it's noticeable in other pages. And I'm going to show you, right? So this is a club. So it seems that this guy is a artifact dealer, Christmas man, and this is a DJ. Coming back to that a little bit later. And so this guy says, okay, well, I'm going to mingle, right? Because, I don't know, in this, how do you say, suitcase? Is that how you say it? Case. There's an artifact that Malek needs. Okay, and then he's going to use his weapon that does look like a normal gun, shoots magic bullets, I thought, but no, it's just magic lassos, ripping people to shreds. What is the benefit of using magic lassos instead of, I don't know, bullets? Anyway, don't ask questions. So, okay, then suddenly he has run out of that particular magic. I'm not sure how many times you can use it, but I don't see many people defending this guy, so that's only a one shot, but the narrative says, I was out of lasso rounds anyway. So I switched to Hellfire. So what do you mean you were running out of mass? You just do only one shot, right? So one lasso, it's ripping them apart. So do you have only one bullet? Or are you telling me you just do it more, but there's people dead that I don't see on screen? Very weird. Anyway, so he says, okay, Hellfire. When I think of Hellfire, I think of, I don't know, Ghost Rider, or Hell. And what does Hell look like? Well, it doesn't look like a purple bulb. It looks like, I don't know, orange, like fire, like brimstone, black, orange, yellow, red. No, it's just purple. Okay, I can overlook that. But then this is happening. So I believe this is the DJ, if I'm correctly, right? This is the DJ. So there's this gas mask girl on. He throws her aside, which is weird because if you are in a club, I've been to clubs many times. The lounge department is not here. It's mostly on the other side when people can look at the DJ. But somehow this guy comes here. I don't know when his goons are getting ripped up. And so Malek says, not quite the shop I was hoping for, but it did the trick. The Christmas man dropped his sack of toys. He was burning and ran for the exit. That's when I died. Okay, before we go into that. So basically, this Hellfire bullet kills this innocent woman DJ, right? Because this is the mask. Did he? So he totally blundered. He kills an... Okay, moving on. So, oh yeah. Hack's bodyguard hit a clean kill shot. Or certainly would have been if I had not been cursed. I searched for every corner of the world for a counterspell, for anything that could rid me of the bloody hacks. Though I can deny it comes with certain advantages, especially in my line of work. Hexes, charms, artifacts. So people are screaming, right? it's a shame. That's probably more out of a nitpicking. It's a shame that he does not writhe in pain, right? And makes it more believable, right? Instead of just standing there like, yeah, I don't know, just rain just falling on him, just nothing phases him. It must have hurt, right? But I mean, if you are immortal, I guess, right? Doesn't it, can you just show that you hurt or that you are vulnerable instead of just standing there like a, I don't know. So he grabs this woman using his charm and he says, you forget what you saw. And then he says, after I finish compelling the witnesses, the flames continue to spread. So wait a minute. So are you saying that everyone who saw this, you just grabbed and says, hey, you forget? What about the people that I just know run away immediately after you've been shot in the head because of panicking? How do you know how many people saw what happened to you? I don't know. Nothing's getting explained, right? So it could be that somebody just, escaped your forgetting spell grabby thing. I don't know. Anyway, so there's a grimoire in there. He wants to touch it, but then it just vanished. It emits a lot of power. All right. So going back to London, remember when I said, make everything black in the background? Well, here it is. Instead of, drawing, actually, no. Let's use Google Images and copy paste that in a comic. Well, you can say, Marinus, well, it's black, it's dark. That's the perfect excuse for everything. I mean, if you are looking at 90s comics, right, or mid-2000 or even 80s comics, there were instances that were black or night, and still artists can do artist work, drawing stuff instead of, I need to draw detail. Yeah, let's make everything black. Right, so, okay, we are now in some kind of a black room. He's being interrogated by his boss because he needs to know if he's telling the truth. Why his boss needs to interrogate his own people, I don't know. So he's telling us what's happening about the charm that, disappeared, right? So, do you have any specific knowledge about its current whereabouts? No, Charles, I do not have the grimoire. Like I said, poof, right? So, more no backgrounds. So he says, interesting. A power signature was detected in North Valley at the time of the disappearance. And so he's coughing. Why he's coughing? I don't know. Maybe a plot point for later. Your teleportation theory may be valid. So he says, hey, you need to go to North Valley, locate the grimoire, and leave it close. Let the forensic hex and enchantment team crack the counter spell. So to be clear of the goal, the goal is to quarantine or destroy or to mine data. That's above your pay grade. Okay, some things going on in turn. I like that. The satellite imaging indicates this is the largest mystical power bloom since Gravenhurst, whatever that is. So he says, it's that big. So he says, I'm not the only one that's going to be looking for this. So there's enemies that wants to have this thing as well. I like that. So go to North Valley, Virginia. And like I said, backgrounds, drawing, what's that? Just use Google Images and copy and paste it in there, right? And make everything black because that's way easier. Backgrounds, because streets and buildings and roads and poles and zebra and maybe stopping lights. No. Just make Photoshop guy, remove everything and move on, right? So this guy using his enchantment to this police and he says, hey, let me look at the body. And so this cop says, hey, 4 identical puncture wounds. Looks like shooting. If that's the case, where are the bullets? So, okay, again, if there is a shooting, what would you expect for bodies that have been shot by bullets? Oh, I don't know, maybe blood around it, maybe blood on this cloth that has been buried or it's going over this guy. No, nothing. So that indicates to me that Photoshop guy or artist guy has forgot to draw blood. Which, I don't know. Why? I mean, if you're being shot, there's blood coming out of you, right? I don't know. So this guy makes a photo or using something. So the cop says, I hope you catch this guy. Only a monster could do this. And he says, you're not wrong because he has, I don't know, some some residue or something. I don't know. And I'm not sure why he's doing this. I don't know. What's happening here? I don't know. And then I just stopped and I thought, oh no, we're not gonna do this again, right? So when you use stuff like this double. I didn't even read it completely because I was so bored out of it. Why do this? Make it smaller. One page. Maybe a guy next to it. That's just wasting pages. So then we go to Hawthorne Academy, and again, why draw backgrounds when you can use Google Images, right? And oh no, there's always a mist hanging around these places because otherwise the artist needs to draw detail, because what the fuck is even this? Right. You can see this Photoshop, right? Anyway, so this guy says to her, oh, you have a traumatic experience and you need to talk about it, right? And you need to let it go. And it's a natural process. And some days will be better and some days it will be harder. Okay, she's trauma, right? So then, of course, the blonde girl goes with the black guy. Now, I don't mind, but it's always the same. It's always blonde girl with a black guy. It's never been, I don't know, a white guy with a black girl, right? It's always this. It's never the other way around. I don't get it, but okay. I don't mind because, okay, so they are going through this and she's getting a tramp stamp because who does tramp stamps? He died. Okay, that's tragic. And so she is here at her room and then she is, I don't know, something's falling out of the bag, I guess, and it's a book. And more Google imaging. And she's reading and she's making a screenshot and she's sending it to Cass. And she says, hey, do you recognize it? And Cass says, no, I've never seen it before. Looks like something from Lord of the Rings or Dungeons and Dragons. The entire book is filled with symbols and this bizarre coded language. Some of it is Jackson's handwriting. Hey, Hawthorne's library is open for another hour. Maybe we can translate it. And she looks very angry instead of shocked. But it says, this book could have saved my life, but it might save hers. All right? So get your ass over here. Looks like she's angry instead of surprised. Again, modern artist. So, and then we go to this library and it's, oh no, it's very dark. So what do? If it's dark? Make everything black. Black. And we said, oh, where's this light source coming from? And the artist forget to have more lines, ink lines here on this arch of stone here. All right, so he says, I'm losing my mind here, Cass. Well, I'm aware. We established that in the third grade. Ha 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 ha. Humor. None of it makes sense. The only English in this book is scrawled with Jackson's handwriting. Couldn't save my life. Why would he have written that and put under my bed days before he died? It's weird, I give you that. But come on, Kelly, what are you actually suggesting? That this was a hit job? And who wants to kill Jackson? Everybody loved him. Okay, but what about the part save her life? This has to be about my mom. Who else could be referring to? So then suddenly, out of nowhere, this guy comes. Who is he? Where does he come from? And he says, hey, step away from the book now. And he just, I don't know. He says, no, don't shoot me. And he's get clubbed in the head. And then, I don't know, she just freaks out immediately. And she says, get him away from him. And then, I don't know, she's spasming and kills him with photoshopped, blurred, inking, Cthulhu stuff. Remember when artists actually draw blood instead of this? And again, look at this inconsistencies with all these inking. And backgrounds, no, why would you draw backgrounds if you can make it a foggy background? I mean, when it comes to double spread pages, right, you could have, I always say, make it so that people says, oh man, wow, this looks fantastic. You could have drawn braziers, lighting effects, bookshelves, chairs, entrances, doors, whatever. But no, Photoshop guy thinks, oh no, that's too much work. Let's make it all black and some hazy purple Photoshop effect here. And where is the bottom? Where's the ground? Oh no, that's no, let's make everything white and gray. So the tramp stamp is just activating, and she has now, I don't know, magic powers. And I don't know, the fog comes in. There's no fog, by the way, it's just make this stuff up. But because artists cannot finish the fucking job, so Photoshop guy says, oh man, I need to scratch this away in here as well because I have to draw background. So more Photoshop here. Oh man, I'm almost done. Photoshop here, Photoshop there, and blood. No, let's not do that. So okay, they are gone, and more black, and nothing on screen. So this guy gives his report because he was on the scene, and he says, hey, there was a dead guy. And the chief security guy says, hey, enough stalling, Malek. Stick to my questions. Did you find anything at Hawthorne Academy? So he has this page. Remember this page? I don't. But he found it. You mean aside from the corpse with tragic fashion sense? No, I didn't find anything. So he's lying. And the artist doesn't even bother to draw in this keyboard because you can see it's crooked. And so he just did Google search again and copy paste the keyboard. And he says, I had enough. I'm pulling you from this assignment. So Malek, being bold, he says, no, Charles, you're not. You're going to call Langley and report that I'm doing an exemplary job. And then you are going to assist me to finding this grimoire, because it's as powerful as you say. It could be the key for removing the hex I've been inflicted with. I like that. That's interesting. Now, when it comes to story, there is something that I like here. I'm bitching a lot about, Photoshop guy and the artist, and rightfully so. But, the story, it pulls me in somewhat. I'm not sure where this is going, if it's actually good, but still, I think it's interesting. For now. Once I'm done, I'll expose further the vision for what it really is, he says. I'm going to a handful of speedy, profiteering sociopaths who claim they want to keep the world safe from magic, but they are clandestinely working to weaponize it on a massive scale and start the next industrial complex. And you're going to forget. Wait, are you trying to use compulsion charm? And he says, haha, that's not going to work because this techno-alchemy doesn't work in here. This safe house is guarded. I'm calling this in. Enjoy the next 25 years in the Supermax. Bugger. Now, that's really stupid of it because, I don't know, he's some kind of a super cop with magic. Didn't you, I don't know, figure it out that your magic couldn't work here? I mean, that's something you just, I don't know, check out before you do this magic mojo stuff with this guy that you are working with? It's so weird. And why is this guy interrogating his own person that works for him? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so we can continue this into the next issue. So this is Blake. I have some work from her, and I like Blake as a person. I'm not always a fan of her writing. She did also Catwoman. I don't have that, so I'm not sure. So yeah, we're going to check out what's happening next. And we have more stuff here. It's interesting, but also, just like I said, there's a lot of inconsistencies here. And I'm not a big fan of people cheating or being lazy when it comes to drawing and inking and doing fucking backgrounds. And of course, it's going to be into issue number 2 and 3 and 4 and how many pages, I'm not sure. So I'm going to check out 3 books, and if I'm not on board with it, I'm just stop, or I'm going to continue. We're going to find out soon, guys. Let me know what you think about this comic in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe to my channel. It would help a lot. See you next time. Bye-bye.